Press.
Thank you for joining us today, everyone. We're going to have our coaches media session now. We're going to start from left to right with Quincy Watts from USC, Wes Kittley from Texas Tech, Diljeet Taylor from the BYU distance team, and Chris Johnson from Arkansas. Coaches, if you don't mind starting with an opening statement, starting with Quincy, we'll go down the line about the upcoming championships, and then we'll open it up for questions.
Great to see everyone. It's always a pleasure to be here. This is the one meet out of the year from an indoor standpoint that counts. So excited to be here and just looking forward to some great competition.
Yes, congratulations to all these guys that are here. I know they've got great teams. We're excited to be here. It's an opportunity that you don't get but once a year, as Quincy said. So just really looking forward to getting started tomorrow and trying to fill up some lanes.
Yeah, heartfelt thank you to the NCAA, and they always do a great job hosting this championship meet. So we're also very grateful to be here for this opportunity, and I, as a coach, am royally, literally, from head to toe, royally excited for this championship.
Looking forward to the championship. I think our staff has done a great job in preparing our student athletes, and obviously it's an opportunity to go out and perform to the very best of their abilities in a high intense meet, and we look forward to getting it started.
We'll open it up for questions.
John Davern with FloTrack. Coach, question for each coach. Obviously, there are a lot of underdogs at this meet this year, right? So, can you each give me one athlete from your team that you're really hoping can kind of break through some barriers this weekend?
Good question. It's the underdog. We have some underdogs that I'm looking forward to on the women's side. Let me just start there with Jasadi Carter. She's a returner. She's my captain this year, so I'm looking for her to take advantage of the moment. She was here last year, so she has experience going in, so I'm looking for her to have an exciting competition. On the men's side, I'm looking for Johnny Blockberger. He's a senior. This is his last season with indoors, and he has no more eligibility. So I'm just looking for him to have a great meet. And, he needs a breakout meet indoors.
Yeah, I think I would start on the female side with Naomi Krebs. She's really had a great year in the hurdles, but first time to be in this show, and would love to see her have another breakthrough this weekend. She's really been coming on as of late, so we're hoping that continues. And probably on the men's side, Shamar Uter, he's coming in almost 16th or 15th, and he got 5th or 6th last year, and been injured and really kind of on the upside now, and so really hoping he'll have a good meet too.
I feel like we're all coming in with a little bit of an underdog mentality, and I have women here who are hoping to do something really exciting that hasn't been done by them before, that kind of already just encompasses that underdog mindset. Our president of our university, Shane Reese, did a devotional on Tuesday, and he said God loves the underdogs, and so we're all coming in with that underdog mentality.
Well, I think if you're top 16 in the country, it's kind of hard to say you're underdog. But I think our freshman, Anya Jackson, would probably be that person, if you will. She's a freshman, and this is the first time being at a big meet of this caliber. So I think that would be our person. But if you're top 16 in the country, you beat Hatfield, you score, you get to the finals. So I would be hard pressed to say anybody here sitting at this table is talking about underdog.
Mentality.
Lara Overton from ESPN. Question for Coach Taylor. Coming off your success in cross-country season, how have you seen your team maybe use that as momentum and also come in with potentially a little bit of added motivation to prove what your team is capable of in a track season coming from a distance dominant program?
Yeah, it's been exciting to build off of the fall momentum, and obviously confidence is huge when you're at this stage. Regardless of what you've done, it all kind of is wiped away. Again, 16 spots, and we're all trying to capitalize on the opportunity. But what I've noticed in my women, specifically the ones that are here ranked pretty high, is they went through really hard things. And to be a female distance runner in the NCAA or at the pro level, you're battling things that you have to go through that hard struggle. And I'm really proud of what they have overcome. That's where their fight comes from, is the stuff that they have went through that was hard. More than their wins, it's their struggle that they have gained strength from. And we're celebrating some of the struggle and overcoming that. And you can see it in their fight. I think that's been the difference maker, is they've embraced the hard that they went through and now are seeing the results of some of those struggles and sacrifices.
Sam Seams, U.S. Track and Field Cross Country Coaches Association. With the changing environment of collegiate athletics and you all being leaders, mentors for great historic track and field programs, what do you all feel that is the importance of track and field collegiately and the value of it?
For me, the value and what's important is just the everyday connection with your student athletes, making sure they're treated as human beings, making sure they're heard. There's a lot going on in track and field, and there's a lot of areas that we as coaches, we're mentors, we're mother figures, we're father figures. So there's a lot that they have to digest, and being able to have those conversations behind closed doors and off the track has been I think it's very important. There's some topics and things like that, and just having healthy conversations regarding those topics in track and field is also important as well. So conversation and things of that nature, and connecting with your young athletes is very important moving forward with track and field.
Yeah, I think, we have a great sport. We've got to continue to voice that. I think we've got to be more voicing just what type of sport that we do have in the future more than ever. And I think that will happen if we all get together and stay of the mindset that we're all in this together. I'm a concern, about, possibly although change is going to happen, the haves or the have-nots. And I think it could get in a position where it's that way if we don't watch it. So very mindful of that. I can't control everything, but I think the head coaches for sure need to have a good voice to continue to fight for our sport.
The landscape has definitely changed over the last couple years, and I think coaches collectively have done a really good job of implementing those changes. I think the recent changes with roster changes, we're going to see it look probably differently on the national landscape, and it is an important time for us as coaches to come together and voice our advocacy for both men's and women's track and field, but also for a cry of help to our administrators to make sure that they understand and also really support our student athletes. This is one of the purest sports, and we understand that our revenue generation is very different, but it is life-changing in what we are able to do with the impact that we have on our student athletes and what they're then able to do. We don't want to impact that or change that, and so I'm hoping that we're protected. I know it's changing and we have to change with it. We're no longer just coaching. There's so many more aspects to our jobs now, but the revenue that's coming into a very small percentage of student athletes should not take from opportunity of other student athletes, and I feel strongly about that.
I think we have to adjust and see things a little differently. I think that our athletes are very deserving of everything that every other athlete is getting, and obviously it's one of the purest sports that we can possibly have, and it's woman versus woman, man versus man, and I think that the appreciation for our sport, and I think we just need more exposure, and we need a better understanding of the sport, and to be able to lobby our administrators to see the value that we have in our sport as coaches and administrators to our sports that everyone else sees.
Jasmine with City is Meg. This question's for Coach Diljeet Taylor. So in addition to coaching the BYU women, you also have this incredible pro group that you coach, Swoosh TC. What is it like managing both of those groups, and how do those women build off each other to become even better?
It's been great for us at this press conference. I want to just focus on my BYU women. There's been a lot of confidence that's been gained from just having that energy, and so I'll leave it at that, but I really want to focus just on my BYU women this weekend.
one for each of the coaches. We can start with Coach Johnson. Each of you are sitting up here with spectacular individuals, but you also have very strong teams in contention this weekend. Oftentimes, contending as a team means that some of those individuals have made certain sacrifices on behalf of the team. What is unique, special about the dynamic to be in contention for a team title, and what your athletes are doing this weekend for the good of the team, maybe above individual accolades?
Well, I think for us is that everybody on our team does what we ask them to do, and we might stretch them further than they possibly think they can be stretched. But I think, in essence, we do what's best for everybody, and they understand it's a collective group. What happens, everybody has an impact on how we fare, and so whatever we ask them to do, even though they might not necessarily be in the mindset to do it, they've done it year in and year out. So this started a long time ago in August. And so I just think that we have a special group of athletes. Everyone is important. You get to be at this spot and go out and perform, and I think that's what we're looking forward to.
You know you have a good team of women when they're given the option to pick an individual event or possibly anchor a DMR, and they come back and say, well, if I do this, that gives the team the most chance for points, and I want to do what's best for the team. And I let the athlete choose, ultimately, whether they want to take an individual event and fight for a title. Those are really hard to come by, or if they want to try to accumulate as many points by entering 2 events. And when they take ownership of that decision, I feel like they're more invested in the fight for it and the outcome. So really proud of the choices my women have made.
Yeah, I mean, I would be remiss if I didn't bring up Malachi Snow. You know, he's going to run the 60 and turn right around and walk back down there and pretty much get ready to run the hurdles. He's done it before outdoors, but, you know, he didn't even have a second thought about not doing that because he wanted to try to score some points for the team. And actually, I think it was 15 minutes last year and we got about 25 or 30, so he was pretty thrilled. And so hopefully it'll work out for us. But yeah, it's tremendous to see kids when they don't just think of themselves in this world that we live in now, and it makes it fun. You know, as I think Quincy said, you know, this is one that gets scored, you get counted against you at this one, and so these kids know that and appreciate it. And so it's one of the toughest meets I think ever to make, and then also to score in. So looking forward to it.
Yeah, just agree with all the coaches up here. Just having a group of individuals who are buying into whatever it takes to become a champion or get their best effort here. You know, you only get these moments. They don't come all the time. At least not for me up here at USC. I can't speak for coach here and then coach down there, you know. But just having the opportunity and buying in and know that there may be, the schedule may be challenging, right? But it's not difficult. And them being and their approach and how organic it is to, like, I'm all in, coach, let's go. Yeah, it may be challenging, but coach, we can do this. So I think that's very rewarding. It's great to see, and it lends to a great just a great dynamic and great culture being here, and everybody's happy, everybody's feeling good. So there are some challenging moments, but if they're all bought in, I think is why we do it, and that's why the championship is worth doing it.
After switching to FloTrack, this for Coach Johnson, very strong 400-meter women's squad out there in Arkansas, and this year Isabel Whitaker's been such a huge pickup for you guys and has made, you know, already such a big impact. Like, what's it been like adding her into the fold there in Fayetteville?
Well, I think she's obviously a phenomenal athlete, and she was 5th after our 4th, so it was great for her to join the team because obviously it showed that she had some extreme amount of talent. And I think she's bought into our program, and she's taken her time, and she's gotten better week in and week out, and she's done everything we've asked her to do, and you kind of see the fruits of her labor right now. So we're very excited about the potential that she has and how far she's came, although she was already good before she got to us.
Coach, just talk about what it means to be here and have your teams represented at this type of stage in the sport.
I mean, I think it's a big deal. We represent the state of Arkansas and our fans and the families that's involved, the coaching staffs. It's an honor to be here. I think it's what we do at Arkansas, and we do track really well there. And we always feel the need to be able to produce a phenomenal team, men's and women's, on the men's and women's side. And it means a lot to be here. And obviously there's stresses and pressures of being here, but we want to enjoy the moment. But we want the kids to understand that every team is different. We'll go out to outdoors, and that team will be different, and there's different bodies, and people will be healthy, or whatever the case may be, or not healthy. So let's take this moment to enjoy it, understand what it really means to be here, understand that you're special to make top 16 in the country in an individual event, and top 10 on a relay, and top 12, sorry. And it's just one of those things that they'll never forget, and we'll never forget this team, and we want to make sure that we focus on this team and not all the other teams that we've had in the past or we're going to have in the future.
Just a shout out to all the athletes, because can we just talk about how incredibly hard this championship is to make this year? Looking at the progression, I think some of the media outlets posted it leading up to the week of what it took last year, the year before, 5 years ago, 10 years ago to make the NCAA championships. And when you look at it now, it's one of the toughest meets to make. And so you've got world-class competition happening right here in the NCAA, which is super exciting, and it's a privilege. It's a privilege to participate in an NCAA championship. The way that the competitiveness and the way that our sport is going, these are people that are going to be making teams, U.S. teams and teams for other countries. So you're seeing the future firsthand right here, and that's exciting. I'm super thrilled to be witnessing it.
Yeah, absolutely. It is the hardest meet to make by far, and so I'm just so thrilled when you get these kids here. I had one or two at 17th, so you know that was tough on those kids. But yeah, it's just a blessing. I mean, my goodness, you get to this meet, you've worked all year for it. This is the first opportunity you get to score as a team and to have an opportunity to be a national champion or whatever the case may be, and so. It means everything. This is my 41st year, and I'm as excited about it this year as I am, the first year I came. So it just makes it special when you get an opportunity to bring, I think we've got 9 ladies and 12 guys, and we have an opportunity to be in the hunt. So it's just always a blessing. So thankful to be here.
I agree with Coach. Just thankful to be here. It's a time to reflect on, as you look at the team, how do we get here? And this particular year, we had a lot of adversity outside of track with the team. It seemed like every other week I was sending a young lady or a young man home to a funeral. So, and I have a young lady right now who lost her aunt, and she's one of the top performers in Diljeet de France. So she's here competing with a heavy heart. And that's like when I spoke to her earlier, you just have to kind of go away from track for a second and let them know that you're here for them, you support them. And as we look from the time it started in August to right now, these challenges are all as how we're going to celebrate. And also with the fires in California as well, the athletes and dealing with that and supporting our community. So you look at all the different things that have went on in our lives to get here. We're happy to be here, and we're excited to be here, and the headspace is in a great space regardless of the things that they have to deal with. So adversity, we're kind of just celebrating how we were able to move away from adversity, and we're going to go out there and have a great time competing.
Coaches, thank you very much for your time today. Best of luck this weekend, and if you don't mind posing for a picture before you leave, and that wraps up our press conference.